Okay, now let's look at another and probability, and this time this is a case where the first event may have some impact on the second event. It may change the situation. So an example, you've got a box of chocolates. And there are 20 chocolates. 5 are cherry chocolates. Five of those are cherry chocolates. And you want to know what is the probability of selecting a cherry chocolate twice in a row. Well, by selecting one of the chocolates, you are changing the numbers in the next event. Whether you actually select a cherry on the first one or not, you're going to change the probability of selecting a cherry on the second event. So these are dependent events. There's some effect, right? We're changing the game, so to speak, from the first selection to the second. So on the first selection, there are 5 cherry chocolates and 20 total. We have a 5 in 20 probability for the first choice, which is 1 in 4. So you got a 25% chance, 0.25, of selecting a cherry chocolate. And so your probability is 1 in 4. Well, now you're going back and you're selecting again, but the game has changed. There are fewer, there's only 4, right? Because you pulled one of the cherry chocolates out. So on the second try, there's only 4. And there's not 20 in the box anymore, there's only 19. So now your probability on the second try is 4 out of 19. So our probability of cherry and cherry, right, which we could probably write that as probability cherry and cherry, right, selecting 2 cherry chocolates in a row, is going to be the product of these two, our 1 in 4 times our 4 in 19, right? And that's actually pretty easy to calculate because we can cross these 4's out. And so the probability is 1 in 19 that we would draw out 2 cherry chocolates in a row. So again, you're multiplying. It's an and, so you're going to multiply the two probabilities, but you got to keep in mind that it's not the same probability. When they're independent events, like rolling a dice, same probability every time. But in a case of this, where you're picking something out of a bag or picking something out of a box and you're changing the number that remain, then your probability on the next event has been affected. And so these are dependent upon what happens the first time. And that's an and probability with dependent events.